This mower here is 24 years old, and you can see that it's just sitting here. And it is a L100 series. There's the hood right there. That's important because what I'm getting ready to tell you gives you an idea of what I'm dealing with. You know, I get all these trolls that tell me all these great things that I should do with my business, but they don't realize the reality of business. I've ran a business most of my life, my adult life, with few exceptions. And when you run a business, customers demand that you pay for everything. They don't want to pay for anything. They just don't understand the concept. So back in March, a guy brought me a mower, the same series of that. It's the L series, and the L series is, I think, from 2002 to 2010, something like that, 8 years. So let's just give it a rough average to say this mower is 20 years old that I worked on back in March. Now it's a twin cylinder. That's a single cylinder, but still applies. That there is an L100, and the mower I worked on was an L120. And the reason I remember this so vividly was because he had a hood issue. It's in my records. He had a broken hood, and I offered to sell him that hood. It fit. I was going to take the stickers off of his hood and put it on this hood. He declined it, which is fine. He asked me to just zip tie the hood, which I did. But the job was to fix the hood and do a service. So my services always include an oil change with a new oil filter and 5W30 synthetic oil. I've been using that this year because Briggs & Stratton, Kohler, and Kawasaki all came out with a bulletin saying to use synthetic oil. It's just a superior oil. So I think most mechanics are starting to switch to that. Now, a lot of people say use zinc, but they are... There's a couple of things to that. One, if you're using zinc, you're probably still going to have to find it in synthetic oil. And the only reason you really need zinc is if you're running it in really extreme conditions, especially hot conditions, really hot conditions. I run zinc oil in my two big generators because I run propane and they run really hot. So 5W30s, synthetic, full synthetic. That Walmart blend is actually a top of the line blend, believe it or not, even though it's so cheap. So that's what I've been using. I use it in my stuff. I've used it in that little generator, the little one, since probably December. It's got 1,300 hours on it. That engine should have died at 500 hours. And it's still not smoking, it's not doing anything, it's running great. So I did the service. I did the oil change and oil filter, fuel filter, new spark plugs, new air filter, and a valve adjustment. That's what I always do on my services. I've never had a complaint on service ever. So that was back in March. It was cold. I was in my video that I make for my other channel. I was still wearing a coat. So it's pretty cold. So 2 days ago, he calls and says, what kind of oil did you use in my mower? I said, I use 5W30 synthetic. It's a far superior oil, and all the engine manufacturers are now telling us to use it. Oh, okay, all right. Well, you know, that engine that you worked on, you did a valve adjustment on. And I couldn't remember doing a valve adjustment only on a lawnmower this year. I have done it in the past because it was a hard start. It wouldn't turn over. So maybe last year. So you do a valve adjustment and that fixes the hard starting issue. But the only valve adjustments I've done this year are on services, because as the engine ages, the camshaft wears. And so you got to adjust the lifters. Is basically what you're adjusting. You're not really adjusting the valves, you're adjusting the lifters. But it's the gap in between the valve and the lifter is what you're actually setting. And I said, yeah, that's pretty standard. You got to do that every 200 hours. Well, my engine is smoking now, and it's using oil. And I said, sir, there is absolutely nothing I did to your engine that would have caused it to smoke. And that calmed him down. I mean, almost like just deflated him. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not blaming you. Well, yeah, you were. It was obvious you were blaming me. You pointed out two things that, you know, you thought that it was, actually. So like I said, this engine's 20 years old. And so immediately after he actually finished up the phone with, after, will it run the rest of the season with it being smoking like that? I explained to him it could be a head gasket. It could be actually a lot of mechanical failures and a couple human factors. I mean, if he overfilled the oil, for example, that would make it smoke. Or if he ran down a hill, but steep hill, and the oil ran into the piston or cylinder area, that would make it smoke. But I said, no, if it's just smoking a little bit, you'll foul out the plugs and you'll carbon up the valves, but that's okay. You can change out the spark plugs and you can run seafoam and that'll clean up the valves. So, I mean, you can run it the rest of the season. He says, okay, and then I'll bring it to you in the fall. All right, sounds good. Well, I was still concerned. So he lives in a different town. Hey, this is his second home down here. And he's like the #1 sales agent in this big city. So you know, he already thought he had the upper hand when he started. You know, he's a big salesman. He was going to get his way. He'd already rehearsed how he was going to handle this, and when I deflated him, he stopped. So when I got off the phone, I thought, you know, this may not end. This may get worse. So I documented the phone call the best I could from memory into an email. I grabbed all the old text messages from March, and I saved them all to an email. That way it's on the cloud in Gmail, and I got all the information. But I've been kind of worried about it for the last few days, or the last couple of days. I mean, he called 2 days ago. You know, I just, I don't want to have to buy everybody a brand new lawnmower. I really would like to stay away from that idea. And I really felt like that's where he was heading. So I uploaded the video to AI, and I asked AI, is there anything I did wrong on this service that would have caused it to smoke oil? AI analyzed it and said, no, you did everything right. Told me exactly what I did, you know, repeated it all. And so I just left it at that. Well, I got to thinking about it again today, and I thought, you know, I wonder how dirty his old oil was when I drained it out. Because if it's a bad rings, you know, and the rings are wore out, that would be because he didn't change the oil enough. You know, synthetic oil does have this uncanny ability, so does conventional oil, but synthetic oil does it a little bit better, of cleaning an engine. So there's a lot of carbon deposits in an engine. It can mask a bad engine for a while. And what I mean by that is if you got a valve seal that's all brittle, that carbon can pack up around that valve seal and keep it from leaking for a little while. Not long. It may give you another whole season, but it really is, you have a bad valve seal. Same thing with rings. All the microscopic little edge holes in the cylinder, those will fill up with sludge and kind of seal it a little bit. But again, conventional oil can clean it too. Not as good, but it can expose, when you change the oil, a problem, a pre-existing condition. You know, they always say, mechanics always say, the worst thing you can do to an old engine is change the fluids. So it was inevitable, but you know, because I'm sure some trolls are going to say, yeah, you ruined that engine with that 5W30 synthetic. I didn't ruin it. I did exactly what Briggs & Stratton told me to do. So I thought, well, I'm going to go check that video, see how old the oil is when I drained it. I mean, nobody drains the oil the way I do. My John Deere's only have one oil change. And I change it every 50 hours. First 50 hours I changed it. I'm going to change it again in 100 hours. And but I check it regularly to make sure that it is still an amber color. Once it starts to turn into a dark amber color, I change it. I do the same thing with the beast. The generator, 25 hours every time. And it, you know, gets down to that dark amber color. Of course, I run the generator pretty hard, so I want to make sure that it stays healthy. But if I see that oil to start change color on the dipstick, then I will change it, whether it needs it or not. So I start the video and I go through it and I watch myself, you know, adjust the valves, make sure I did that right, change the fuel filter, change the oil filter, make sure I did all that right, everything's looking good. And then I drain then I say, well, actually I shouldn't say I changed the oil filter just yet. I changed the air filter, the fuel filter, adjusted the valves and the spark plugs. I do all that when the engine is cold. And then I said, now I'm going to start the engine up to stir up the sludge in the bottom of the engine and warm the oil so it'll drain out faster. So I hadn't even changed the oil yet. The engine's still cold. I start it up, big puff smoke comes out. So it is a pre-existing condition. Now the thing you got to understand is in March it's cold. I was wearing a coat in that video. So the oil is really thick and it still gave out a big puff of smoke. As the temperatures warmed up in June, the oil is thinner now. It's supposed to be. And so it's smoking all the time and he used oil. So, I mean, if he decides that he wants to get his money back, I got the video evidence that it was smoking. If he wants to take me to small claims, I got the video evidence to show that it was smoking. I mean, he's already lost the battle because the engine was already damaged. There was something wrong with the engine before he brought it to me. Did the synthetic oil or even clean new conventional oil worsen the condition? Yeah, probably did. But there's nothing I can do about that. You still got to change the oil. You know, you're just trying to preserve that engine for as long as you can. If he says in the court, if he takes me to court, well, he should have known better than to change the oil on that old engine. He should have called me and told me not to fix it. But that wasn't the agreement. I'm not there to do a full diagnostic on the engine. Most old engines like that do smoke when you start them up. And when you change an oil, you're just trying to preserve the engine for as long as you can. So but again, you know, a lot of the subscribers love to tell me how to run my business like they've ran one before. Even the people, I've been running a business for 30 years and you should do it this way. And I don't even understand how you can say some of these things. So you basically paid your customers to work on their stuff, because some of the stuff you say don't make any sense. Now, since then, I have made a warranty, a 15-day warranty on parts, and anything older than 10 years, no warranty at all. So if he had called after I had developed this warranty policy, he could have called and said, you know, my engine's smoking. I'm sorry, sir, there's no warranty on your engine. It's over 10 years old. It just takes me out of the loop of this stuff where they're trying to claim I broke their engine when it was clearly broke before, and I have video evidence to prove it. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over to my other channel. It'll be a brand new video today. It won't be that one of the John Deere, but it'll be a new one. So I hope I can inspire you to do your homework so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.